Is your pain all in your head? Hey, I'm Russ from Pilates Guy. I'm a Pilates instructor because I had back pain for years and years and years, and Pilates brought me out of that. And so I now make a lot of content about things you can do to improve your back pain, a lot of Pilates-based information and exercise videos, and pretty much anything I can share about health and fitness that I think might help you. Today I just want to talk about this one thing which comes up really regularly, because people go to doctors and things like that with back pain and sometimes get the impression that their doctor's suggesting it's all in your head. Now, I can talk from very individual experience that when I found out I had a problem with my lower disc at the age of 20, well, I started at 25, had the scan at 27, that my pain was bad, but it spiraled. It got much worse when I knew there was a problem there, and there's a lot of reasons for that. Number one, I was constantly focused on and thinking about my pain. Number two, I was not moving properly, trying to protect my glass back. I was convinced at 28 that I was going to be getting a blue badge soon. Okay, it was that bad. And the more I focused on it, the worse I got. As soon as I started to build up confidence moving again through Pilates, it just got better and better and better, and eventually I'm basically back pain free, lifting the heaviest weights I've ever lifted. A major part of this that I've realised now was how focusing and being stressed and anxious about the back pain was actually making it worse. I'll give you a recent example of something that isn't back pain where I've had the same thing. I recently was convinced that I had a brain tumour, as ridiculous as that sounds. I was having headaches and head pains, sort of twingy pains, and then that progressed to headaches and twinges. This was like November 23. As I'd been to the doctors, and then I came out of the doctors with a headache diary to make. I was on it all the time, writing this diary down because I feel these twinges throughout the day all the time, on and off, when teaching classes. I was more focused on it. It was getting worse and worse. I was starting to wake up with headaches and symptoms were getting worse, more painful. And then in December, I started to get dizzy spells, really kind of like woozy for a second, multiple times throughout the day. This was all getting worse up to about Christmas. 3 visits to the doctors, I ended up having an MRI scan. The MRI scan showed I didn't have a brain tumour or anything serious going on with my brain. My symptoms halved. I slept that night, I woke up the next day, I have not had symptoms nearly as bad as around Christmas time and from mid-November since finding out that everything's fine. So the more you do focus on symptoms, and the more you're stressed about it, the more anxious you are about it, probably is going to affect your sleep as well, the worse those symptoms are going to be. So you need to try to build up some confidence in moving if it is pain, and you need to try not to focus so much on whatever that issue is. If you're constantly thinking about your back pain, if you don't do things because of your back pain, if you say regularly, not with my back and things like that, then you need to do something about that. You need to get confident moving again, and starting with a low impact exercise where you've got complete control over how hard you push yourself is going to be a really good place to start. All pain is in your head. It is created by your brain and your central nervous system. And so if we really focus on that, we can create those symptoms and make them worse. However, the symptoms you do experience are real. So if you're feeling worse pain because you're really focused on your back pain, that is real pain that you're feeling, but it is your brain creating that pain because you're really focused on it, probably stressed and anxious about it. So it is time to do something about that to get you feeling better, more confident moving, able to distract yourself from that pain, and then able to hopefully move forward feeling much better. Hopefully that little bit of insight is helpful. It's something I've learned more recently, and then looked back at my pain previously and realised it did have an impact on that. Definitely a wake-up call recently when I was absolutely convinced I had a brain tumour, and very luckily, fortunately did not. If you have got any questions or comments, please share. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you for watching this, and I hope to speak to you again soon.